Regional ripples. What Nepal Gen Z movement South Asia signals for South Asia democracies? A youth movement in one Himalayan capital rarely stays within its borders. When Nepal's Gen Z organized online and spilled onto the streets, it sent signals that other South Asian democracies could not ignore. This is a clear, detailed tour of what the Nepal moment reveals about the region's politics, policy, and the new grammar of participation. Start with the generational shift. Gen Z in South Asia grew up with cheap data, smartphones, and a feed where local grievances share space with global benchmarks. Their baseline is comparison. If public services, jobs, or rights lag, they measure the gap in real time. In Nepal, that meant fast mobilization, savvy messaging, and coalition building that cut across class and language. The signal to neighbors is straightforward. Broadband plus boredom with old excuses produces unusually rapid organizing cycles. Digital public squares are now primary, not auxiliary. Young organizers treat platforms as logistics engines, planning routes, pooling legal help, and broadcasting safety updates, before they are megaphones for slogans. When restrictions arrive, they pivot to VPNs, encrypted groups, and offline hubs. For other democracies, the lesson is that controlling attention through bans rarely controls outcomes. It often reroutes them. The movement's vocabulary is pragmatic: transparency in hiring and contracts, time-bound delivery on public promises, clarity in how rules are made and changed. Instead of ideology first, demands center on competence and accountability. Audits, dashboards, service standards, and open data. This technocratic turn is portable across borders. Parties and administrations that respond with measurable fixes rather than rhetorical sparring will read the moment better. Civic stacks matter. What looks like protest is also infrastructure. Volunteer legal desks, first aid teams, helplines, and misinformation debunkers. Student groups share templates for right-to-information requests and budget trackers. Journalists and creators collaborate on explainers that turn complex policy into 3-minute clarity. The exportable idea is method. Build reusable tools that lower the cost of participation for the next cause. Representation gaps are a core grievance. Youth see parliaments, parties, and boards that look older than the populations they serve. Nepal's surge sharpened a regional question. How quickly can systems create legitimate entry ramps, youth quotas in party lists, municipal fellowships, advisory councils with publishing powers, campus-to-civic pipelines? Countries that experiment here will gain trust. Those that stall will find politics living more on sidewalks than inside chambers. Economics drives stamina. High youth unemployment, underemployment, and credential inflation keep frustrations warm. Movements endure when they connect dignity to delivery. Transparent internships, apprenticeship credits, startup sandboxes with fewer signatures, faster payments in government procurement, and local innovation challenges where winners see pilots within months. These are low-cost, high-signal policies that any South Asian city can adopt. Security and restraint decide legitimacy. Most Gen Z coalitions in the region value nonviolence and documentation. They film everything: police behavior, protester discipline, and crowd safety protocols. Administrations that train officers in de-escalation, publish rules of engagement, and set up real-time complaint review win room to maneuver. Overreaction, by contrast, multiplies turnout and shortens the half-life of official narratives. Media ecosystems are a contested field. Youth creators now rival traditional outlets in reach during fast-moving events. The Nepal moment shows a hybrid model. Legacy media that verify and contextualize, creators who humanize and mobilize. Democracies can lean into this by opening briefings to credible independence, publishing raw data alongside summaries, and funding media literacy in schools, so rumor travels slower than facts. Courts and commissions matter as release valves. When institutions act quickly, interim orders, hearings, ombudsman interventions, they provide non-street venues for redress. Regional governments can pre-commit to timelines for reviewing contentious rules, sunset clauses for emergency measures, and public consultations that are short, digital and binding on process, if not always on outcome. Cross-border diffusion is real. Playbooks travel via diaspora networks and student forums. How to file information requests, map contracts, or crowdfund legal aid. So do missteps. A heavy-handed tactic in one capital becomes a cautionary clip in another. Administrations should assume a shared audience. The way a government treats its own youth is watched by the region's youth. Risks and limits deserve honesty. Leaderless movements can fracture or be co-opted. Maximalist timelines can outrun state capacity. Single-issue coalitions can miss deeper reforms. On the state side, performative consultations without follow-through erode trust faster than silence. The durable path is iterative. Publish a roadmap, deliver a few visible wins fast, and set quarterly reviews with youth representatives who can say no in public. What to watch next across South Asia? 1. Recruitment. Do parties elevate credible young leaders with budgets and briefs, not just titles? 2. Procurement. Do ministries open source contracts and performance dashboards? 3. Policing. Do interior ministries codify protest protocols and discipline violations transparently? 4. Campuses. Do universities protect peaceful assembly while deterring violence consistently? 5. Cities. Do municipalities turn protest pain points, permits, buses, lights, clinics, into targeted improvements within 60 to 90 days? Education and skills policy will be a quiet battleground. Expect stronger pushes for industry-linked vocational tracks, micro-credentials recognized by government hiring, and public-private labs where students prototype city fixes. Countries that align skilling with visible civic outcomes, cleaner wards, safer crossings, faster grievance redress, will convert protest energy into governance capacity. The regional takeaway is not that youth will always be in the streets. It is that they will always be in the loop. They expect to co-draft rules, co-monitor delivery, and co-own data. Governments that institutionalize this, participatory budgeting, citizen juries for high-impact projects, annual youth accountability reports, will find fewer surprises and more partners. Nepal's Gen Z moment is a mirror and a map. It reflects a generation impatient with opacity and performative politics. And it maps a workable response: competence, transparency, fast feedback, and dignified participation. For leaders and citizens across South Asia, the choice is between reactive control that keeps crises recurring and proactive inclusion that keeps democracy adaptive. For deeper explainers and practical frameworks, visit globalinfovida.com.